The first cannon blast tore through the silence of the void. The Grinning Skull jolted as metal screamed and alarms blared. Captain Rourke slammed his fist on the console. Shields up. Return fire, now. The crew scrambled, their boots thudding against the iron deck. Through the cracked glass of the command window, Rourke saw them, 3 pirate ships, flying familiar flags. His allies, or so he thought. "Identify those ships," he barked. "Sir, it's the Iron Vulture, the Black Hound, and—" the officer's voice cracked. "The Crimson Blade, they're ours. They're firing on us. Betrayal. Fast, sharp, and without warning. Varese. Where's our backup?" Rourke demanded, spinning toward his first mate, but Varese was gone. His station empty. His comms dead. Another blast rocked the ship. Fire tore through the lower decks. "Hull breach. Deck 3's gone." Rourke's jaw tightened. "We've been set up." The Grinning Skull twisted between blasts, dodging through burning wreckage as the enemy ships closed in. He gripped the wheel, eyes burning. "They want to fight? Give 'em hell." The void filled with cannon fire, betrayal, and the thunder of a pirate captain refusing to die quietly. The battle for survival had just begun. Smoke choked the air as Captain Rourke stormed through the damaged corridors of the Grinning Skull. His heart pounded like war drums. His own men had turned on him. Shots rang out behind him. A mutiny was spreading like fire. Rourke kicked open the door to the war room. Inside, the ship's quartermaster lay. Dead, a knife buried in his chest. Scrawled in blood across the wall was a message. "Blood for gold." Rourke's cum crackled. "Captain, this is Briggs Varese. Just broadcast your location to the Crimson Blade. He sold us out. They're coming." Rourke's vision narrowed. Varese. His first mate. His blood brother. His betrayer. Another explosion rocked the ship. Sparks showered from the ceiling as the Grinning Skull groaned under the strain. "Briggs, seal the lower decks. Arm whoever's still loyal. We hold the bridge or we die here." Rourke grabbed his sidearm and sprinted for the control deck. He could already hear the pounding boots of enemy, boarders echoing in the halls. The blood pact was broken. There would be no mercy, only survival. And payback. The Grinning Skull roared into the void, engines burning hot as enemy ships chased close behind. Laser fire streaked past like falling stars, ripping chunks from the hull. "Captain, we can't outrun them." Briggs shouted from the console, smoke rising from his scorched jacket. "We're not going to," Rourke growled. His eyes locked. On the dense asteroid field ahead, a legendary ship graveyard, where dozens had entered, but none returned. "We're going in there," Briggs paled. "Sir, that's the Wraith's graveyard." The maps say it's death," Rourke cut in, steering straight toward the wall of spinning rock and twisted metal. "But death's better than capture." The skull dove between massive asteroids, scraping past shattered hulls of ancient, abandoned warships. Enemy cannons roared behind them, but the dense debris forced them to slow. "Watch the left," Briggs cried as a tumbling star cruiser spun toward them. Rourke swerved, barely missing it. Suddenly, the enemy ships broke formation, pulling back. "Why? Are they stopping?" Briggs asked, breathing hard. Rourke's eyes narrowed. "Because they know what's in here." Deep in the graveyard, something old, something not on any map, had just awakened, and it was coming. The Grinning Skull drifted through the silent wrecks, engines dimmed to avoid detection. The ship creaked, wounded but alive. In the dark cargo bay, Rourke slammed open a sealed crate, the one Varese had been guarding like his life depended on it. Inside lay a smooth black relic, pulsing faintly, its surface etched with alien runes. Briggs stared at it. "What the hell is that?" Rourke's stomach twisted. "The reason they betrayed us." The relic hummed louder, vibrating in his hands. Suddenly, the ship's sensors flared. A low, ancient signal was broadcasting from the relic, a call. But to what? Briggs paled. Captain, that thing's not just a treasure, it's a beacon. Before Rourke could respond, the ship's AI crackled to life. Unidentified warship detected. 0 life signs, closing fast. Rourke rushed to the bridge. On the screen, an enormous blackened warship slid from the shadows. Its weapons were hot. Its engines impossibly old. The Crimson Blade and the other pirate hunters were already retreating, vanishing into the dark. But the ancient ship wasn't chasing them. It was coming for the Grinning Skull, for the relic, and it would not stop. Ancient warships surged through the graveyard like a ghost, silent and unstoppable. Its black hull was covered in scars and ancient battle runes, but its weapons gleamed like they were just forged. Shields up. Get us moving. Rourke barked, gripping the controls. Sir, it's not responding to hails. It's locked on us fast. Briggs shouted, sweat pouring down his face. The Grinning Skull roared between drifting wrecks, diving through collapsed battleships and spinning debris. The enemy ship followed with eerie precision, sliding through the graveyard as if it had hunted here before. Laser blasts rained around them, smashing through old metal giants, shaking the skull to its core. Rourke's eyes burned as he slammed. The ship hard left. Why us? Why ignore the others? Briggs checked the scanners. His voice trembled. It's locked onto the relic. It doesn't care about anyone else. The ship's AI crackled. Lifeform signature 0. Artificial control systems active. This ship is unmanned. Unmanned. And still, it hunted with deadly intent. As the skull dodged another barrage, Rourke made a brutal decision. They couldn't outrun it. They'd have to outsmart it. But first they needed help. The Grinning Skull's engine screamed as it dodged another volley of deadly blasts. Captain Rourke's jaw clenched. Alone, they were a sitting target. Sir, Briggs said, eyes wide. The Black Hound just transmitted an offer. They want a truce, temporary alliance. Rourke spat blood from a cut on his lip. After Varese. Betrayal? Why would I trust them? Because, Briggs said grimly, they're scared of that ancient ship too. The Grinning Skull's cum crackled as a gruff voice broke through. This is Captain Jara of the Black Hound. Our grudges don't matter right now. The relic's danger is bigger than any of us. We either work together, or we all die. Rourke stared out at the endless dark. The enemy wasn't just hunting pirates, it was hunting the relic itself and anyone close to it. He nodded. Prepare to meet them at the outer rim of the graveyard. We'll form a line. Briggs looked doubtful, but obeyed. The 2 pirate crew's enemies just minutes ago now had to unite against a threat older than any of them, because in the void, survival demanded unlikely alliances. Captain Rourke's hope flickered as the Black Hound approached. But shadows ran deeper than he'd feared. Captain, Briggs whispered, Varese just jammed our communications. He's boarded the Black Hound alone. Rourke's blood ran cold. Varese wasn't just a traitor to the skull. He was playing both sides. Varese's voice crackled over a hacked channel, cold and mocking. You think you're the only ones hunting the relic? I've made a deal with the Terran fleet. They want it, and me. Explosions rocked the skull. Varese had planted bombs in the engine room. Sabotage. Briggs shouted, fighting sparks. And smoke. Rourke gritted his teeth, adrenaline burning. Seal the compartments. We'll survive this. The alliance shattered as Black Hound turned hostile, firing on the skull. The Terran fleet was closing in, and Varese was their inside man. Rourke clenched his sidearm. Varese wants power. We'll give him one thing, a fight he'll never forget. The Grinning Skull, crippled but unbroken, prepared for the deadliest battle yet. Betrayal wasn't over. It was only just begun. The drifting station hung like a carcass in the void, its lights flickering weakly amid drifting debris. Captain Rourke's boots echoed down the hollow corridors as he hunted Viris. No air, no mercy. Just the cold silence of space pressing in, Suddenly, a shadow moved a flash of steel. Varys lunged from the darkness, blade aimed for Rourke's throat. Rourke twisted, barely dodging as the two collided in a deadly dance. Their blades clashed, sparks flying in the zero-gravity chamber. "Why, Varys?" Rourke growled, breath sharp in his suit. "Why sell us out?" "Power," Varys hissed, eyes wild. "You always held me back." Around them, the station creaked, collapsing under damage. Panels sparked, debris floated by like ghosts. They fought on, spinning through shattered halls, desperate and savage. A heavy slab cracked loose, hurtling toward them. Rourke dove, grabbing Varys's arm and throwing him into the wreckage. Breathing hard, Rourke raised his blade for the final strike, but paused. Varys smirked, blood dripping. "This isn't over." Outside, the ancient warship closed in in the void. Only one could walk away. The Grinning Skull limped into open space, its hull torn, engines sputtering. Rourke slammed his fist on the console. "We've got one shot." The ancient warship was closing fast, its weapons glowing with deadly light. The Terran fleet had arrived too, surrounding the skull like vultures waiting for a kill. Briggs shouted, "We're boxed in." No escape routes. Rourke's jaw tightened. There was no way out. Only a way through. "Arm the relic," Rourke ordered. Briggs paled. "Sir, the relic's unstable. If we trigger it, we either die running or we make them bleed." They rigged the relic to overload, tethering it to the Grinning Skull's reactor core, a trap hidden in plain sight. Rourke broadcast a fake distress call. "Terran fleet, the relic's yours. I surrender." Varys, aboard the enemy ship, bit the bait. "Bring me the skull." The ancient warship locked on, moving in for the kill. Rourke's voice was ice. "Briggs now." The relic pulsed violently. A chain reaction ignited plasma surging, the void screaming. The explosion ripped through the battlefield, obliterating the ancient ship and crippling the Terran fleet. The Grinning Skull vanished in the blast, but Rourke's story wasn't over. Silence settled over the battlefield. Wreckage drifted like ash in the void. The ancient warship was gone, torn apart by the relic's explosion. The Terran fleet's flagships floated, crippled and broken. But the Grinning Skull was still alive, hidden inside an escape pod launched. Seconds before the blast, Rourke and Briggs floated beyond enemy scanners, breathing in the quiet aftermath. "We made it," Briggs whispered, barely believing it. Rourke stared at the burning horizon. "We survived, but we lost everything. Their ship was gone. Their crew scattered. The skull was just a ghost now." Briggs checked the comms. "Captain, Varys is alive. His ship's dead in the water. He's out there stranded." Rourke's grip tightened on the comms dial. He could hear Varys calling for help. "Captain, come on. We were brothers." Rourke's thumb hovered over the comm switch. He clicked it off. "Let him float." Rourke said coldly, "Let the void decide." As the escape pod drifted into the stars, Rourke knew the price of betrayal was paid in blood, fire, and silence. The Grinning Skull was gone, but its legend had just begun.